Station, brother.
Pop, pop, boom, motherfucker.
Kapow! All right, now I got one. That's my thing. We lost a scar pad. But
No. That's the special guest.
Way to bury the lead, bro.
Blew it, Vern. Blew it.
You blew it, bro.
I thought
It's all right. He was here last week, so.
Who loves you, baby? Who loves you?
Nah, it's like, all right, he's here.
Goes with the movie.
Yeah, you just stole that
So
from the commish. Was that the commish?
I'm super.
Kojak, baby.
Kojak. I get them confused.
Commish.
I thought Peter Falk was in here for a second.
That's not the commish. That's Columbo.
That's Columbo. Jesus. They're all. I get all three of them
You're
confused.
all fucked up with your TV detectives.
Yeah. None of them are the Night Stalker, though. We'll say that. That's Kojak. So.
But I'm super hyped to review this movie tonight. 1972's Horror Express, which this is a Hammer film. I'm pretty sure, right?
It's not a Hammer.
No.
Hmm.
No.
I swear I thought it was.
It's actually a Spanish film.
I know it is Spanish, but I thought Hammer Films
I think it might be Amicus, but it's not Hammer. It's kind of a offshoot of Hammer, sort of, kind of.
And then Regia Films, Arturo Gonzalez. That's the Spanish distributor, and then Gala Film distributors in the UK.
Right.
But a lot of people think it's Hammer because it's Lee and Cushing and kind of in that vibe and style.
Yeah. I think it's a great movie though. It's
spaghetti horror.
It's a definite fun one, man. I love it's kind of like a Murder on the Orient Express, but with a primal mate thing that's attacking everybody, I guess. What do they call it at first? The fossil, and then
The fossil. What is a fossil? The guy goes.
I think it's a really cool movie, though. I really like that, like the tone and the aesthetic of it. I think Christopher Lee is great. One thing I gotta remember, we gotta answer. Like he says in the beginning, he talks about. He's like, I'll let you guys kind of debate whose fault it was. Like, so whose fault? I gotta know what Robbie thinks by the end of it. But Robbie, bro, this is the first time you ever seen this one?
Yeah, first timer.
Nice, bro. I'm sure it's like that for Vern. I think
I've never even heard of it. I've never even heard of it. So.
Yeah, I have a special story. I have a special story that goes back to this one. I have an origin story for this movie.
Man, let's hear it, bro.
Well, this movie came out in the 70s, 72, as everybody knows, and I'm older than the fucking hills. And back then in the early 70s, that was before cable, so we had like 4 channels. And of course, every one of those channels had a horror movie, science fiction movies on the weekend. They had a lot of time to fill up. But this movie was playing nonstop, in the 70s and through the 80s, once cable kicked up. And of course, this movie actually fell into public domain. In other words, it was a long time. It had no licensee, so there was copies of this movies. Every possible era, VHS, DVD, really bad prints. The movie you're watching now looks a lot better than the movie we looked at back then. And back then, the stations got those prints. So the movie always looked horrible on TV. It would be cropped from its widescreen. It would be really dark, but that kind of helped because it was so dark back then. Not like TV now, where you got digital. You either get it, you don't. Back then, we got it. It was wicked snowy. So I'm sitting there with the rabbit ears, trying to get the channel, and all you could fucking see of this movie. And when I'm 12 years old, I'm thinking this movie's fucking his red eyes. All you would see is the red eyes peering out of the snow, and that hooked me. I saw this movie first, Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing, before I saw any of the other movies. So I kind of thought they were buddies. And actually, this is the first movie they really had a lot of scenes in together. But and since then, I must have seen this movie about a dozen times. So, no, I love this flick. A great, great movie. That's my origin story.
That's awesome, though, dude. I love it too, man. I think it's a great film. I love them both together in this. It's one of the first, like Christopher Lee and what the hell, Peter Cushing for me too, man. I always want to say Vincent Price like an idiot, but yeah, it's one of the first films I watched with both of them in it too, man. So I hear you on that, bro. I just love the whole tone of the movie, man. I just love.
Well,
like,
do you have the disc, Robbie, or no?
Do I have the what?
Robbie, and do you guys get the disc on this film?
No, but I watched it on Shudder, which I think it looked really good. I think they used that restoration.
Well, some of the special features. I found a few things out about the movie. This was Peter Cushing's wife had died a couple months before this movie was put out. He did not want to do this movie, and Lee talked him into doing it, just so he, come, and he stayed at Lee's house all through the times they were doing it, and it became the greatest movie together. But he did not want to do this movie at all.
Cushing was having a hard time, so he would have night terrors, right? He couldn't sleep, and like there were times, because I was watching a YouTuber who talked about some of the special features and what was mentioned. He said that like Christopher Lee would go and get in bed with Peter Cushing to like calm him down and make sure that he was relaxed and could sleep. And I'm like, wow, that's like sad, but that's beautiful, man. You know what I'm saying? You like to get in bed with your friend, your homie, because he's having a hard time and making like, I don't know if they cuddled or nothing. If they did, more power to him. But that
he probably
their friendship comes through in this movie, even though they're playing rivals.
He probably just waited for Lee to fall asleep. He stabbed the motherfucker in the heart with a fucking steak. But no, I love that. Plus, another thing in this movie too, Kojak Telly Savalas, the great Telly Savalas, who loves you, baby. He came in. He doesn't
That's
have
not
much
Peter Falk in this movie.
No, it's Telly Savalas, man. And I tell you, he hammed up this movie. He doesn't have much of a part in it, but he chewed the scenery, and all that stuff was ad libbed. They didn't have any lines for him. He had that lines, lines, but he ad libbed a lot of that. And he was great in that movie. Great performance. Tell you the Russian czar.
Oh, the Russian. I really like the priest a lot too, and I think he looks the coolest with the red eyes, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude, those red eyes, man, are fucking iconic. I love this one, man. It's like a creature feature mixed with like a freaking space vampire.
Yeah, this movie was loosely based on Who Goes There, which was the movie The Thing.
Yeah,
also was based on that, and you can see where this has tones of that with the Arctic guy frozen, going through, taking over the people, then they bouncing around and different people, and so that a lot of movies took that story and changed it, and that this movie is another loose retelling of it.
Nice. Man, this is one like I absolutely have to own. I really want that Arrow release. I almost feel like as soon as I buy it though, they're gonna do a 4K release. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And if
You
there's
never
one
know.
that's worth the 4K, it's that one.
I don't know. I don't know if they would. This is worth it. If you can get this for $20-$30, it's worth it. That's a good deal.
Yeah. No, I absolutely love that movie so much. It's a lot of fun. I for some reason I always love like movies that kind of take place in like a storm. And I love you can tell sometimes that when they're doing the trains that it's just like a little miniature,
Right.
Version. I love stuff like that. But me and Scarp have been freaking yapping. Robbie, what the hell did you think about this, man? First time watching? I mean, dude, I know you're a huge Hammer guy, and
I am.
Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing. These guys are like a part of your freaking childhood.
I know, and before Star Wars.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So that's a big one. Not before the Treks, though.
I think it's okay. I was kind of disappointed, right? So I'm watching it, and at first, this is what I feel. At first, I feel like I love the concept, right? Like you were saying, it's like Murder on the Orient Express or something. Like it's like that, but with a monster, right? With a monster, with Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing in there. I'm digging it. I'm like, and I'm setting up, and I'm like, this movie is going to be about all these people on this train and some monster killing them. I'm fucking down for it, right? And it was all right. Then it gets about, I would say I enjoyed it. I was enjoying myself for like 45, 50 minutes. And then, I don't know. It just started, when they kill the monster, he takes over the inspector. Then all of a sudden you got this Russian monk who loves God, all of a sudden worships Satan and wants to be this dude's fucking Padawan. And then he dies. And then it just took so many weird ass leaps and so many plots went fucking nowhere. Like, I guess like the international spy and thief or whatever that was stealing the steel composition or whatever. Like, I don't know. I mean, it does tighten up. It does tighten up. Some of the problems you have with the movie tighten up at certain points. But oh my God, like I am ready to suspend my disbelief for this movie. But you were telling me that our eye goop has fucking the imprints of what we just seen, like what we've seen over 2 million years. Like, okay. And then, I don't know, man. There was so many weird stretches in this movie. And I loved the atmosphere of it. I loved the conceit of it. I loved pretty much almost every performance, but I have some problems with just the way the script goes, especially the way it goes from the end of Act 2 into 3. It just kind of loses me there. And I would have actually preferred a more simple story of just the monster loose in this train. And you could keep us intrigued by all these other characters. And all the other characters eventually just lead up to nothing but a little bit of cannon fodder. And it doesn't really explore anything character-wise, but it does do certain things very well. So I think the movie is okay. And this is my first time watching it. And having watched today or listened to a few like podcasts and stuff about the film, I did start appreciating it a little bit more, right? But there is something to me that falls apart in the movie where it kind of gets boring. When other people love the way it twists up towards the end, that really kind of annoyed me. And I thought the inspector with one hairy arm was not near as cool as that fucking creature. You know what I'm saying? So I liked it. I thought it was okay. I'm glad I watched it. But there's some moments where it comes close to soaring, but moments where it just falters for me. But that's just my thoughts. So I thought it was okay.
No, you make good points. But yeah,
it is Spanish.
The creature is awesome, man.
Well, that's true, but I've seen other like Dolls was made in Spain or some shit, right? That's just fine.
It gets a little tricky towards the end.
Well, the other thing is real quick interesting about this movie is they didn't save any of the audio from the movie when the movie was being shot. They looped the whole thing.
That's typical European, like Spain, Italy. They do that a lot, right? Because they know they're going to put it out in so many places. they might as well just dub it. And it makes it easier to film because then you don't have to worry about like sound and all that kind of shit, noise.
Yeah.
It didn't all seem though. Like Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing, their stuff didn't seem dubbed, at least to me.
Because they're really good actors.
Yeah.
So they matched up real quick.
Yeah.
If you watch a lot of the Telly Savalas stuff, you can really tell it's dubbed.
Right. Yeah, I noticed that. But
no brother, what did you think, man?
I'm kind of with Robbie. Like when I first put it on, like the first half hour of the film, I was like, this is really, really cool. Like I was into the mystery of it. I love Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee in the movie. The acting is great. I was into the story and the mystery, but it just got, for me, like I kept falling asleep. I watched it twice because the first time I just was like, fuck it. I guess I'm just going to keep falling asleep. I literally did like 5 or 6 times. And I'm like, all right, I'll just watch it again. And I was struggling to stay awake both times.
My homie today that I work with who watches this show was like, I bet Vern fell asleep 4 times trying to watch this movie. He literally said that to me today.
That's funny. No, I definitely did. And it was cool. Like I'm really into like evolution and like early humans, pre Homo sapien humans and shit like that. So I was up for that storyline. And even when it got weird with the eye goop showing you pictures of pterodactyls, like I was into that. I dig the whole thing. But
the other weird scientific bit I just remembered. Oh, the brain is smooth, so the memories must have been wiped away.
Right. Aesthetically, I dig like the stuff you mentioned, Dylan. Like I dig the red eyes, like the horror aspects of it. I'm into the bleeding from the eyes. All that looked really good, but just the amount of brown and wood in the film, it's like it's all brown and earthy. So there's not. I would say my favorite shots are the train shots. Like I dig those when they keep going to them. So, as I said, I'm happy to see Lee and Cushing in a movie other than Star Wars and Lord of the Rings. So I mean, I'm glad to have watched it, but I didn't love it personally.
I got you.
I think it would be really good to remake because I really like the concept of this film. The problem is, if anybody made it today, they would add 3 extra fucking endings and switches and shit. And it would be just a ripoff of the thing where they were like, it's between any of us. Who is it? And like, it does have elements of that I appreciated. And I'm sure like Carpenter probably may have seen this film, especially if it was all over those 4 channels, like Scarpad was saying, right? So it has a lot of potential and it lives up to some of it, right? But I think it lives up to almost most of it, probably 60% of it, but it doesn't go over the hump for me as it tries to go into that final bit.
Did anyone watch that Creep Show episode?
No.
Nah, man. I forgot you mentioned that, bro.
I did too, man. Shit.
Was
it good? That would have.
I just think probably maybe the whole Lee. I think the whole Lee and Cushing thing was so good in this movie. I really enjoyed them so much that you could overlook a lot of the shortcomings of the script. And with Telly Savalas, I guess, got paid $22,000 for the small scene, and that set up his girlfriend's apartment, so he was happy. Which is cool.
He's one of my favorite Blofelds, to be honest with you. Not my favorite, but one of my favorite Blofelds. So definitely one of my favorite Bond films for sure.
Yeah.
It was weird to introduce him 50 some minutes into the movie. I was like, okay,
I was really confused, man. They show up like they know what the fuck is going on. Like I'm missing something. Like I saw that they were telegramming the station, but like I don't know of anybody being like, by the way, there's a fucking monster on the loose here and a killer. Like I don't know. They came in. It was such a weird bit because at first I'm like, are they robbing them? Like, are they trained pirates? I would appreciate it if they were trained pirates. I thought that would have been a better idea. But I do love the bit where everybody's in that fucking one train car. They're all stuck there. And by the way, I was trying to make sense geometrically of what's going on in this train and trying to figure out what car was where. Because I was just, I don't know, this is the kind of movie that's got a slow enough pace where you can focus in on shit like that. And I'm like, oh, the baggage cart's at the end. There's the dude running the car. Okay, where's the penthouse? That's got to be the front. So I'm trying to piece together where it is. I think they got a couple extra compartments. I'm just going to say like that you don't actually see. And I also heard that they actually made this movie because his company had just done a movie with a train or on a train. They're like, we got these sets. Let's come up with something else. So it has a lot of potential, man. And there's some really cool atmospheric bits that I like. It's got that vibe like an Alien thing. It's a haunted house movie in a way where there's some kind of monster, or ghost, or creature in a house or in a spaceship or in a train, and you can't get off of this thing. And an interesting ending to find out that apparently every train track has a way to make it just jump off a fucking cliff.
Right. Yeah, I was about
just
to
in
say
case.
that ending was a little nuts. It's like, why would you make tracks that go and send you over the edge? It makes absolutely no sense at all. But okay.
I love how the guy, he just gets the order. He's like, wait a minute. Well, that would kill everyone on the train. He's like, well, that's what it says. Well, we better do it. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah, doesn't make too much sense there, but I guess they figured out the movie had to end somehow. So
right.
Train Pirates would make a good pitch. I actually came up with an idea once for a short film, but they were not train pirates, but they were pirates of golf carts, because I used to work at a dealership, and everybody's on golf carts on a dealership, going back and forth from the service department to the sales floor to back and forth and all this kind of shit. People would ride golf carts, and I thought it'd be funny if there were like golf cart pirates. Like they're just roaming around your neighborhood. Every once in a while, a golf cart shows up. People freak out. They run away because they're going to come and steal all their shit. I had this bit too where he's going to run away. There's kid. It was going to be like there was this neighborhood, right? We're way off track because Dylan's gone, right? But so there was this neighborhood and all these people are out, and all of a sudden this golf cart starts coming up and it's got a pirate flag on it, and everybody freaks out and gets in their house except for this one kid who's just eating some cookies and he doesn't know what's going on. And all of a sudden these pirates, literal pirates, like 4 or 5 pirates on a fucking golf cart, come up, drive up super slow, right? Like you film it so it looks big and epic, and then it gets super slow when you see it in real life. Anyway, they snatch the cookies from him, and the pirate looks back as they're leaving and goes, "Chips ahoy, matey." Yeah. They make a guy walk a plank, and one idea I had. And then he jumps off and he's just on the fucking road, and he's like, "Is this it?" And they're like, "Aha." And then he gets hit by a fucking car or some shit.
It's brilliant. I don't know how this isn't a movie already.
Yeah,
no, I don't know.
Who wants to make that? Well, you got to get a golf cart. You got to fucking get pirate costumes.
Well,
it wouldn't be too hard to put together, would it? Actually,
how many horror movies can you remember on a train? There's Terror Train, right?
Yeah, Terror Train and this one,
Train to Busan.
Train to Busan. Yeah, I've not seen that one, but I've heard about that one. So that's like
zombies
on the train, right?
I heard it talked up a lot, and I enjoyed it, but I think it was overhyped for me when I saw it. Even though it's cool, it's definitely worth checking out. I think it's partially because it's any foreign film that's dubbed, people put a little extra, like, oh no, trust me, it's quite good.
Wasn't there a Midnight Meat Train?
I don't know. Dylan might know that one. I haven't seen that one.
Yeah.
It's here's something. I've never been on a train. Like the idea of trains to me are so old school. I know friends that have been on trains, because there's a train that you can get to like down in Birmingham that will take you to New Orleans. So a lot of people, my friends of mine, would just go down there and hop the train. I've never been on a train.
It's crazy.
Like, but it sounds like it could be neat and cool. But all my experience through trains have been through fucking movies like Harry Potter and this. And the Darjeeling Limited, my favorite train movie, right there.
I was gonna say, I've never had a hamburger from a fast food restaurant.
Are you serious?
For reals.
Never good for you.
Never been to Sonic?
He's never had a hamburger, but I bet he's had plenty of cheeseburgers.
No, I thought you were gonna say probably had plenty of chicken, and that would have been the correct answer.
Oh. I thought you were trying to fuck with us.
No.
Really? So just no burger, period?
I mean, I'll eat one occasionally, like on the grill or at home occasionally. They're
but not from fast food?
Do you not eat beef or something?
No, I do. And it's not like I'm a healthy guy. I'm fat as fuck. And I don't know. It was just, I never grew up eating them.
Okay, there you go. So when if you go to a fast food restaurant, you get like a chicken sandwich or something.
Yeah.
That's usually a good option, but okay, interesting.
I get both beef and chicken, baby.
You swing both. Dylan swings both ways, man.
Oh yeah.
Why not swing all ways, man? It's Pride Month. Represent. Dylan doesn't know where to go next. Favorite characters?
That would have been a perfect one if you didn't make me crack up there.
Oh, you trying to do the bit? I see.
Yeah.
I was gonna say music would be good because I love the music in this movie.
Dude, the music was really good.
Oh my god,
Really good.
It's spaghetti western horror movie music.
It was like that.
It's got that vibe.
And then it would be like really quiet, and you just hear like the wind blowing, and there you get
I expected
that like, whistling.
Clint Eastwood to jump out, and it was great. I love the music in this movie. Good stuff.
Yeah, the music was really good. I think practical effects are absolutely incredible for being a 1972 movie. I mean, the eyes, like how the fuck did they pull the eyes off? The white eyes, like that had to have been uncomfortable.
Yeah, they look like contacts.
I wonder how they did it with the red eyes too. Like, how did they do that without using
with them glowing too?
Right.
What you sipping on some summer ale?
Little shipyard from Maine. Yep.
Oh.
The cool man. I don't know. Almost looked like ping pong balls in the eyes, didn't it?
Right.
I like because everybody instantly, as soon as they looked at that guy, they got the bleeding eyes and the white eyes. Not Telly Savalas though, man. He fought, and he eventually succumbed, but he gave it a good go. He almost beat it, whatever it was.
Man, I tell you, I love though that they're it just feels kind of like otherworldly, kind of like Big Trouble Little China in a way. You know what I mean? And you get the priest, and he's just like, wherever the cross is, God is, and wherever the cross is not, the devil is. And he tries to mark the crate and everything, which that kind of gave away. With the crate gives me creep show vibes, like maybe Tom Savini took a bit of that from that, which would make sense, man. And especially Creep Show freaking did that episode, which, man, you guys definitely got to check out. Any of you guys that have Shudder, check out, just for the heck of it, now that we've seen, you guys have all seen Horror Express, check out that Creep Show episode. I think it's season 2, and Justin Long is like the main guy in it. It's good though.
What's the story on it? Like, it ties in with this somehow?
Yeah, it ties in. Like, basically, it's Justin Long is like some super smart technician guy, and he's created like this new, I think he is, or maybe it's just this world where the VR is like insane. I'm pretty sure he's like this tech guy that's created this insane virtual reality, and he like can go into like his favorite childhood movies, you know what I'm saying? So one of his favorite movies was Horror Express, so he goes in to the movie, and that's like all I'll say. But it's really cool because
movies in public domain makes a lot of sense for them to throw that together.
That does make sense. It's really cool though because they're adding like Justin Long into the to the film, and then they're
This kind of sounds like Pleasantville. Wasn't there a movie that did that?
It's really cool though. I don't know, but this was the first I've ever seen anything like that. But I think it's definitely worth the watch. I mean, especially, I know you two said you think Horror Express is okay, but I like the episode. Period.
Yeah, it sounds like something to check out, man.
No, for
What
sure.
did you think about the music, though, Robbie?
I like the music. I mean, it was what I was expecting from it, but I like the music. I think it did help provide with some of the visuals, with how dark it was shot at certain times. And obviously, if you had seen this movie on VHS or on TV, like Scarpat was saying, it was going to amplify the mysterious atmosphere. At the beginning of this film, I like it. Like, the thing is doofy. They didn't have much to work with there. And it's probably why they abandoned it and just had it go into a person, because they were like, I feel like somebody was like, man, we know how to make eyes bleed and glow red and fucking be white. So let's just do that the whole fucking movie. But the music does work in conjunction with what it was doing. It's not too elaborate, but it gets the job done. And I think it's good because it does provide that almost classic. This film and the score is a big part of this too. It's like a good bridge between like that classic Hammer Universal Gothic horror into what was coming up in the 70s and 80s, right?
Yeah, I really like the music. I was saying like in the beginning too, like it's really quiet, and the train's going, and you just hear like this whistling. It's gives you the gives you the freaking chills, you know?
Yeah, man.
I think
That 2 million old fucking prehistoric creature should have like been on American Idol, man. Serenading shit like it's Gizmo.
But yeah, I think the practical effects were great as well. Vern, is there anything you wanted to say about the score?
It was good. It was solid. It's like I'm like keep on trying to place this movie in 72. Like I haven't seen a shitload
that
of
would
movies
be crazy,
from
man. In 72,
right.
It's the year The Godfather came out, bro. So place it
Right.
against that one and see how it fares.
Right. I mean, I thought it was. I'm trying to look for a word less negative sounding than generic. It was pretty standard affair for a classic horror movie. It didn't overly stand out to me. There was bits that I really liked. There was bits that were a little I guess that shit that will put me to sleep when people are just having a conversation where there doesn't need to be music and there's like this like sleepy time music in the background. Like that seems like an old timey thing that I notice in a lot of older movies. But yeah, it didn't stand out to me too much. Fuck.
Well, I think the if you watched the older Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee movies, they didn't really have a lot of screen time together. So it was nice to see that they got a lot more here. But they're a lot lighter in this movie. I don't think they really themselves took it all too seriously. You could tell that they were trying to kind of go against their characters a little bit. And
The movie's got some humor to it, doesn't it? I love that bit where he's like, monsters? We're British.
Peter Cushing was definitely lighter, in this movie, and so is Christopher Lee, and that's why I think I appreciate it a lot more too, because all the other movies, the Frankenstein movies, the Dracula movies, are very heavy movies from the get-go. Yeah. They're very little in the way of really none. There was really none. There's no humor in those movies at all. So it was nice to see their characters and the script lighten up a little bit. They knew they weren't working with Shakespeare here, that they could have a decent time with it. And that's why I kind of appreciate this movie even maybe a little bit more than some of the other movies. Because at this point, Christopher Lee was pretty much, there's not much he does after this, besides Star Wars. What was between this and Star Wars? I don't think much of anything, was there?
Well, the Bond movie was after this, right? Man with the Golden Gun?
That's Christopher Lee. I'm talking about Peter Cushing now.
Oh, Peter Cushing. Yeah, he doesn't do anything till Star Wars. My bad.
I thought you said Lee too.
But yeah, the Star Wars, the Man with the Golden Gun, which was a pretty big part for Christopher Lee.
The guy with the third nipple, man. The third nipple.
Scaramanga.
He's one of my favorite Bond villains. We mentioned him on the podcast. But let's be honest, this movie is just about two dudes who are trying to fuck these chicks half their age. That's what it's about. That's what's going on. That's why I love the bit when he's like, this is my cart. I'm in here too. He's like, no, this is just for me. He's basically like, come on, bro.
Right.
Don't you see what's going on?
She's like, I'm sure we could arrange something that'll work for all of us. Like, all right. Brown chicka wow wow.
London Bridge, baby. Dylan left again.
England is different. England is a whole different mindset in the 70s. I mean, let's face it, I grew up in the fucking 60s and 70s, and my first taste of what was British was watching Thunderbirds on a fucking Sunday morning during church time, and all the puppets are smoking and drinking, man. That's Britain for you. That's the way it was in the 60s and 70s.
I think my first British TV show was Benny Hill, to be honest. I remember watching Benny Hill like when I was very, very young.
Yeah.
Mine was the Monkees, for sure.
Oh, the Monkees. Oh. Fucking love the Monkees.
Mm-hmm.
And then Red Dwarf, and then Kids in the Hall. No, that's Canadian. Never mind.
Yeah.
Whose Line Is It Anyway? The original Whose Line Is It Anyway? I used to love that shit.
Yeah, me too.
That's a little bit later, though. I'm like teenager then.
I saw him do that live.
Nice.
Yeah, with Drew Carey. It was cool.
So you saw that one.
Yeah.
Was Wayne Brady there?
Wayne Brady was not there, but you know who was there was Mimi from the Drew Carey show, who does. He's not a typical Whose
Yeah.
Line Is It Anyway?
I've seen
but
her
she
on
was
episodes,
there.
though.
Drew
Yeah.
Carey did stand up before. That was great. The Whose Line was, you could tell, like, oh, they edit the shit out of the show, because most of it wouldn't have made a TV show.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to love Whose Line. Dylan, you want to get into characters, man?
Yeah.
Scarpad set us up with that Lee Cushing bit there.
Oh yeah. Who wants to go first? I mean, I guess I could go first. My favorite character would probably be maybe like the priest. I really like him. I mean, it's either the priest or Christopher Lee. I think the priest is really good, gives off that, kind of creepy vibe. And then I think it's funny how the man of God ends up being, the last one with the evil in him, but, yeah, I mean, obviously Christopher Lee is a freaking given, and Peter Cushing just phenomenal. But yeah, I really like the priest. I think he does a good job.
I would second that. I think the Russian monk Rasputin, let's just call him that. I don't remember his actual name, but he's fucking Rasputin, right? He's like a mad fucking monk who's Russian. And the most unconvincing heel turn of all time, though. This dude is such a weird. There's some complexity there, and his performance is good, but I don't think that the screenwriters understood the complexity that was going on, because
sure not.
He's like a devout man of God at first. Then he's also somehow working for these two rich snob-ass motherfuckers,
right,
who basically are being heretics in front of him and are just using him to make sure their souls are clean to go into heaven. This movie is set like 1916 or something, so this is when Russia's still predominantly like that Orthodox kind of vibe is going on. It's a very the script at times does do a good job of placing it in its time, right? Like when they see through the eye goop the earth from above, and they're like, holy shit, that would have been the first time humans ever saw that shit that we know of. And so they place it there, and they place it politically there and spiritually there. But when he decides just to fucking be the servant of Satan, like, it's so just like, where the fuck is this?
There's a jump.
It's a little bit of a jump, but you can see that seeds are planted to make it work, because he's got this thing where I think he hates those two motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he fucking hates them. Right? And so, like, I don't know, man.
He's
so weird.
He has to. Or
maybe it was just what, like, maybe he knows, and this is a thing that was coming up with the rise of will be the rise of communist thought and Russian shit, right? But like the idea of like there is no God, nihilism, shit like that. It's just us. We got to do this. We got to band together and live like this. So it's like, it's almost like, is it foretelling something like that? Like, are they trying to do that where he knows somehow inside that there is no God, like, or he's unsure. So the first influence he gets of something that is weird and profoundly otherworldly, he's just going to go along with that. It's such a weird character. Isn't it? Like, it's like, yeah, I don't know. I would like to see this movie remade, really explore that shit. Let A24 do it or some shit, right? Like, right. I think they could. The character is very interesting. Outside of that, the Countess is gorgeous. So I'll also throw her out.
Mm-hmm. For real, though.
Yeah, for real, though. What about y'all down there, since Dylan's eating like a fucking onion ring or some shit?
Funyuns or onion ring? Something. I can smell them from here.
What you do, go to Arby's in the break there? Or what?
Well, okay. Since he's on the table, it's a toss up between Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing. Both their characters are obviously.
So the inspector is really good though too.
He is. Yeah. He is. But
until he gets possessed by the monster, then it's just like this. That's what took me out. When he becomes the monster and he's just got one hairy arm, he keeps his hand in his pocket. Yeah. So fucking stupid.
I almost forgot that he does become the monster because I almost I thought it's just the
was his hairy arm because of the monster, or did he have a hairy arm?
It kind of doesn't make any sense unless you take on some of the characteristics from the creature that was previously possessed from this other dimensional or intergalactic being or whatever the fuck.
Because it doesn't seem to spread.
Right.
Like if he would have mutated more into it, I'd be like, oh, okay, I get it. Like the alien entity changes you into itself. But now he's just got a hairy arm, but nobody fucking notices. All of a sudden, he's just got his hand in his pocket all the time. He's acting fucking weird, asking weird ass questions. What about steel? Where can you make steel? Do you think we can build a rocket into space? Like he's so fucking weird, man. But I do like the idea because the first time you see that motherfucker pick that lock, you're like, what? But then they explain like the first dude he kills in the movie is a lock pick, right? So like he's absorbing, and I was like, oh, okay. So that's kind of clever how they're tying that together. He's learning more the more he absorbs, shit like that. It was very much like The Thing, you know?
That's why I say like I'm down on it to a degree, but there are a ton of stuff about the story that was cool. Like that, those bits were cool. But anyway, Christopher Lee, like he just like there's not many people that like are that regal with that kind of voice that are like, God damn, like I respect this dude. So without even trying, he just fits this role perfectly. And I love when he's like the baggage man. He's a baggage man and a crook. Why would I care if they were dead? And then he realizes this chick he's trying to bang wants him to care. He's like, but maybe I should care more. You're right. But
he is good, man. He's got that regality, and he's got a mustache, which you don't see him with a mustache too often. It looks dope. And Christopher Lee is instantly enticing on the screen. You know, his character's a little weird. Like, I think there's the bit where they put the fucking crate in and there's the growl, and everyone's like, what the fuck is that? He's like, I don't know. And like he just doesn't want anybody to fuck with his find. You know,
fossils, man.
Like, fossils. Yeah, he knows that he's found something.
Fossils growl, man.
And he doesn't want anybody to fuck with it. And it's some really good moments from him. I like him. And what about when he knocks the fucking shit off the dude's fucking thing to get his ticket?
That's what I was gonna say. Like he's fine with people getting killed and him bringing on this thing that's killing people, but he looks down his nose at Peter Cushing's character for bribing.
Yeah,
the train
England,
dude.
We call that bribery.
Right.
Yeah. Because it's just two old dudes trying to fuck some young chicks, man. That's what this movie is. And they're like, damn, this monster's getting in the way.
Yeah, and then
man.
when Christopher Lee tries to take the room with the top bunk with Peter Cushing's girl, he's like, Can you go somewhere else? And he's like, no, I think I'll stay here. I think
You're cock blocking me, homie. You're cock blocking me.
This is 8B. You have 8A.
Yeah.
So what about you, Scarpad? What character you like?
It has to be the monk, because of course that's a character. If you're gonna remember anything out of the movie, 45 years later, it's gonna be the monk. So I would say the monk's my favorite character. I love Lee and Cushing; they're great in it. But the monk is what really makes the movie go. So I'd say he's probably my favorite character.
I do like that. I do like that engineer.
I love Telly Savalas in this.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't have much of a part, but when he comes in, he chews it. He makes the most of his opportunity with what he has, and you remember him in this movie. So I
also love that he's barely trying to do a Russian accent. He's like, fuck it. You hired me for me, baby.
See, I thought the monk was over the top. Like right from the get-go, I'm like, oh god, this dude's corny as fuck.
With the chalk and shit.
Right. I thought it was way over
the trick.
And I couldn't tell, like, I didn't know he was Russian, so I'm like, how racist is this? Because I thought he was a dude in blackface. I don't know if I'm right or not. Like, was his skin darkened or no?
I think he's just dirty, bro.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, they didn't think that.
I think he's just dirty.
Then he's just a dirty Russian. Oh god.
Apparently, he's willing to sell he's willing to sell out to Satan at the drop of a fucking hat, man.
Flip sides of the coin.
Ridiculous.
Gotta do what you gotta do, I guess.
He's from Argentina, the actor. If I'm looking at the right guy. Yeah.
Makes sense. Spanish film.
Right.
But Dylan, he brought up a great point when you were going to Arby's there. Robbie brought up a great point about the ending. I was going to mention, how often do you see train tracks that go off a cliff? That takes the ending down a little bit for me, because
It's in Back to the Future.
They could have thought of a better way to end it. You know what I mean? Than just send them off a cliff into the fiery domain.
It is in Back to the Future 3, though, right? Maybe this is the origins of Doc's train time machine. Brilliant. That will one day be Clint Eastwood Drive.
Making
Dylan keeps trying to get us, man. It's so fucking stupid, man. Like, he doesn't, like, what the fuck, Dylan? Scarpath's trying to say something, man.
I'm trying to say something, motherfucker. Listen up. That ending was not clever. So, yeah, the ending, a few points off of that ending. It's almost like they took the ending of a Top Gun movie and made them bomb the Death Star. What the fuck?
Did you see the new Top Gun?
I just fucking made a joke about it. God damn you, Dylan. Get off that Arby's, man. It's rotting your brain. Yes, the ending of the new Star Wars movie, the new Top Gun movies is the Star Wars rip. But we got it. It was still better than fucking Jurassic Park, which I went to see last weekend. Oh my God.
No good?
I saw it last Sunday.
Yeah, it's as dumb as the rest of them, but
it's probably the worst one.
Yeah,
I thought the last one was the worst one.
No, this one is better.
Yeah,
the last one is a lot better now.
Damn. The last one has a good third act at least, where the dinosaurs just start killing a bunch of people.
I like the last one a lot more now.
The legacy characters meeting the new characters because the Jeep rolls over in front of where the new characters are.
Yeah, I'm still going to watch it, but I'm behind on that. Top Gun. Now we got Black Phone coming up. We got other shit coming up.
I still didn't see the Cronenberg one. I really wanted to go see that in theater.
It's not playing around here, but
yeah, it is playing around. But I think that's coming on a stream. I don't know if Shudder.
I'm sure that will be on in like a week or two. Though.
Well, someone's picking it up, but they haven't announced anything yet. I think they're counting on this. They're going to push towards. I think they're going to push towards Oscar shit for this movie. They're not going to get it probably, but I'm excited to see it. I really want to see it. We're talking about Horror Express though. Before we just jabble off, what else do you want to get to on that, Dylan?
I was just going to do style, story, and structure, and then get to the rating. I figure I know y'all are gonna.
What your feelings are always hurt when people don't think the movie's the best thing ever.
Oh, it's okay, yours aren't, Mister. What happened when I was the only one to back you up on the Funhouse?
I appreciate that. I did get a little hurt that night.
Thank God.
I just couldn't believe that my homies didn't like that movie. Just like I could not believe that Fable didn't like Henry last week. It just blew my fucking mind, man.
Yeah.
But whatever. Fuck everybody.
I'm trying to think of that action movie that you did last year.
Movies are subjective,
Cobra.
Man.
Yeah, Cobra. I watched that too.
And I was like, what? I love Cobra. But, I watched it when I was a kid and thought Sylvester Stallone was the coolest fucking dude in that movie.
I mean, that means everything. We bring it up all the time. But Scarpet, I know you said you watched it when you were young. Dylan, was it the same case for you for Horror Express? This is a movie you watched as a youngster? Or?
Not really young. Like maybe I might have been 10.
Okay, well.
I think that would be a youngster.
Not like real young, but I guess so,
not like something like Mother's Day we watched it when he was 4 years old.
Yeah.
It's surprising.
I went in the future to go watch Mother's Day.
This isn't a movie I would see a lot of kids wanting to sit down.
No, dude, this is a fun one, man. It's
not now, no, because movies now, and unfortunately, they have to be Jurassic Park. It's wall to wall bullshit CGI action. But back in the 70s, they had movies where people actually spoke, talked, and actually had a fucking plot. They won't sit through that shit now because it's too wordy. Just like the EC comics have too many words, and nowadays they just have 5 bubbles. And that's why movies like 2001, this, and
fuck
a bunch
you,
of other
Fable.
movies, Henry, don't get, it's in black and
Happy
white.
birthday.
Don't get appreciated. Unfortunately.
It's your birthday.
It's too slow.
It's Fable's birthday.
Happy birthday, Fable.
Birthday too. Happy birthday, bro.
Whose birthday?
Fable's.
Who else? You said somebody else too.
My dad's.
Oh,
Oh, well, happy birthday to your
Happy
dad.
birthday, Dylan's dad.
My mom's birthday today too, 93 years old.
That's right. Happy birthday to
Holy hell.
Happy birthday,
everybody.
Got the trio.
Happy birthday, all of y'all. And fuck you, Fable, for that comment.
Fucking Iron
yeah,
Eagle.
Iron Eagle. Remember, Brooks hated Iron Eagle. I couldn't fucking believe it. But he watched it on YouTube, a bootleg cut where the music was pulled out not to break copyright.
Well, that's ridiculous.
Oh, my God.
That's not even watching
terrible.
a movie then. You can't judge something without hearing the music.
Because he didn't want to pay $3.99 to rent it.
Son of a gun.
I know, man.
Lou Gossett Jr.
Love
man.
you, Fable.
Can't
Love
be
you,
replaced.
Fable. Happy Father's Day tomorrow too, Fable. So. Anyway, style, story, and structure. Style is good throughout the movie. It is very woody, but honestly, the Hammer films aren't that colorful. Mm-hmm. But the way that they filmed them makes the red and the blood stand out in those films. So, like the red eyes pop out in this one. So I thought elements of it. I liked the production design a lot because it felt enclosed, but it still felt spacious. I was like, these sets have to be bigger than a fucking train compartment. They have to be. Because I have this idea from movies what being on a train's like, and I bet when I actually get on a train, it's going to be like, this fucking sucks, bro. But I have this idea. I want to go to the dining cart and like drink and eat and shit and go and talk to people and smoke in the smoking car. They probably don't even have that anymore. Anyway, so I like the style for the most part. The story is very cool, but then it starts losing it for me. Like I said, structurally, it starts falling apart for me. It's at the end of Act 2 into Act 3. That's where it loses its shift for me. It's like 55 minutes into the movie. It just kind of shifts in a way that just kind of lost me for a little bit. So that's what I think about that. I think it's a solid concept, but I think its execution is a little shaky and uneven.
Mm-hmm. Got you. Oh, sorry. Vern, my man, what did you think?
I mean, like I kind of said, I think the story is cool. The story is really cool, and it's interesting. It's just, for me, it gets, I'm just repeating myself, and it just gets slow. And I had a hard time, even when I was awake. And by the way, I did like rewind it when I would fall asleep. So I watched the whole thing.
Did you rewind it? Did you watch it on VHS?
You know what I mean? I clicked.
Did you watch it with your wife?
No, I didn't. I knew.
So you showed her Henry.
You know
the serial killer.
Yeah. Well, no, I watched that when she happened to be in the room. I know what she's gonna like and what she's not gonna like.
After last week, she's like, "I'm not watching another one of these fucking Dylan movies again."
Right. But she's
don't let her watch Society, bro. I'm just gonna say that when we get to that one. I don't know, man. I don't know your wife. I don't know I don't know her. I think Society is the greatest fucking film of all time.
Then she probably won't like it then. But structure-wise, I just want to say again, like the first, I really like how they build up the mystery at first, and I do like the twist. It's just there's bits in the middle that are just slower than they need to be, that lose me in the film. So I'll just kind of leave it there. I like it more than I'm leading on, but it was just it was dry. That's like the main word I take away from it. It's kind of a dry film. Like even the bits of humor that you're talking about, like I never laughed. I never was into it. But then again, it's 50-year-old humor. And a lot of times comedy doesn't translate as well.
I laughed out loud when he does the whole monsters. We're British.
Right.
I fucking thought that was so fucking funny for some reason.
That's the funniest bit.
Because it broke the fucking movie. Like the movie was like serious the whole way, and even in its preposterousness, brain is smooth. All the memories have been erased, and just stupid shit like that. And then he does that, and I'm just like, what? This movie should be more funny.
Right.
The scene where they take out the skull is pretty good though.
That's actually, you hear the sound. I actually in that scene. It got me more than a lot of other things do.
Mm-hmm.
Just the sound of it. It goes to show you the less you see sometimes, the more it is, because I'm feeling that sound on bone sawing. Right.
I like how the monster comes up. They're like, all right, we took all these time making these props. Let's use them a little more. They just have the monster come up and prop the lid of the head up and take a peek at the brain and then close it back up. Unless he's doing something.
That was all that over to make sure he got everything.
Right.
Was that what it was?
I don't know. Is it smooth? Okay, it's smooth. We're good.
Yeah, that was a weird bit, but and also whatever the cow eye or whatever it is that they're cutting open, that's pretty gnarly too.
That was cool. 100%.
Scarphead.
Yeah, style was fantastic. As everybody said, it felt of the era. The train stuff was done well. So I think that's all. That was all shot pretty good. Style. What was the other two?
Story and structure.
Story and structure. All right, story. You're right. It does kind of drag in that third act, and they kind of lose focus. And I think maybe that's why, everybody's saying Telly Savalas comes in. He really has no point, but maybe that is the point. Is maybe they felt like it was starting to drag a little bit, so they had to bring him up to kind of like pepper things up a little bit. And he does do that.
And they gave him a bunch of people to kill and then turn into zombies, because apparently that's a power. I'm like, why has he not been just, maybe that's why he's looking to see if their brains, because that means that now he can't control them and turn them into zombies. Maybe that's what that means.
If they would have, speaking of structure, if they would have put him in the first act, I'd feel differently about that character, because I just felt like I'd missed something. I'm like,
but then they would have to pay him more than $22,000. That wouldn't happen.
Right.
Yeah, they do kind of just go to that guy. He's there. He's laying with some broad in the I don't even know where where's he in
he's at a train station, right? He's at the train station or some train station. Right? Is that where, because the guy's getting the telegram or whatever,
right? So so I think that the third act kind of lags. Of course, the ending's a little off the wall.
See, for a moment, I thought that it was them being there was if them being there was connected to the spy being there, like tie that all in together. Right. Then they go on there to find the spy. The spy's dead because she was, or the international thief spy, whatever she was trying to steal the steel plans. Like, you could tie that all in together and make it interesting, but like, it's not. Like, otherwise I'm like, why the fuck are they there? They're there and they're like, we know there's a killer here. Like, if it would have been more like they're on there to find her, right? And then they come upon the situation.
Right. It's a movie that the first hour, as Vern said, is really well done. Starts to drag a little bit in the last 45 minutes, and then ends a little weakly. But I think it's still overall done pretty well. So that's my shot on it.
Nice. Yeah. I think the style, one of the best things about the film. I absolutely love the way it looks. I understand it does kind of have a little woody feel. I feel like that was just probably how trains looked back in that time, though. So you can't really get past that. I think the structure of the story is pretty well. First, like everyone said, I think the first two acts are really well done. In the third act, it gets a little junky, a little too overcomplicated. If they would have just kept it simple, I think it would have made it a lot better in the long run. I still think it's a great movie, but I definitely would have, being a huge creature feature type guy, and I would have definitely would not have minded seeing this guy, you know what I mean, in that creature suit or more of the movie than he was, and maybe towards the end he just went to the monk. I didn't need to see him really going to the investigator, but it happened, so whatever. But style, story, structure.
Any other ST words you could think of?
Yeah.
Stalactite.
Yeah, though, I think I still have a lot of fun with it, man. I think it has a really cool feel. I think the aesthetic to it is one of the best things of the movie. So yeah, you guys want to get into the rating? Who wants to kick that one off? Anyone who's seen Horror Express in the chat?
I'll kick it off. I'll kick it off.
You're rating down in the chats below. And yes, Biggie, I do think 8 Mile holds up to this day. Love that film.
Mom spaghetti. I'll start because I think it will be a good turn to end with you guys at the end there. I'll go 3. 3 you digs. 3 out of 5. I think it's good. I think it's solid. It's got some issues. It's okay. To me, it's kind of average. Now, I love the Hammer films, and I was getting that vibe from it. I'm getting an interesting story, but I just was not satisfied with the whole package. Upon further viewings, that may go up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because there is more to appreciate about this film the longer it settles with me, right? So, for now, I'm going 3 out of 5. Slip-arenos.
Nice.
Solid.
Burn diggity.
I want to go 3, but I'm going to go 2.5, and it's just because I did watch it twice and I still couldn't focus on it. Like
That's right, because you were dead tired from work, sir.
I watch all sorts of shit after work. I've been watching 3 seasons worth of Stranger Things. I loved it all, and yeah, I don't know, man. It's just like, to me, it's too slow. It didn't do it for me. But I love the acting though. Like I said, there's way more. There's a lot of things I like about it. That's the other thing I was going to bring up. I've never seen any of those. I don't watch too many, even the Universal movies. Like, I grew up watching them and just watched them all recently. I want to like them more than I do, even though like I like a lot of things about them. It's just really fucking slow.
They're not ones though you're going to throw on all the time.
Right. Exactly.
I will, but they're only an hour and 15 minutes most of it.
So well, I know how Vern is, so I know he's not gonna. But yeah, Robbie can watch it. I mean, Rob Zombie and his wife, that's all they watch are black and white films, you know.
Quit trying to sell me on Rob Zombie and his wife.
Well, get ready for the Firefly trilogy.
And the Monsters.
He's actually doing that Monsters, man, but you can't go home again with the Monsters. Sorry.
I have no faith in that.
He's keeping it PG-13. I think.
No, but the Monsters were a time. They were part of the era they belonged in, and you can't redo that. You can't.
I'm not saying he can, but I think it'll probably be.
It could be good in a Brady Bunch movie kind of way, I think.
Now, I think he's gonna go full out goofy with it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He wants to make it like the show, but I just don't think. First of all, it should have been black and white, but we won't go there.
It's probably gonna be like a parody, kind of like a disaster artist type thing.
I don't think it's gonna be a parody. He really loves the show. I think he's going to try to make it a lot like the TV show was, but you can't go home again with that stuff. Well, it's almost like you can't remake.
He has visually, he has an eye for talent and just the visuals he can do. So I'll be excited to see it. I'm not saying he's going to pull it off completely, but I think visually it's going to be a beautifully shot movie.
All right, so my rating for this movie, which was
Horror Express.
Oh, was it Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer? No, it was sorry. Horror Express. I will give it out of 5. I will give it a 3.75 slips. Because there's definitely a lot better movies than this, and there's definitely a lot worse movies than this, but I have a certain affection for it. So 3.75 for
me. Fair enough.
Fair enough.
I like those 0.75s, man. They come in handy.
We're going to start introducing them back in, I think, because it does add a little more nuance to things. I'm giving too many things 5s and 4s and 4 5s.
Yeah,
right.
You might as well.
People get confused.
And then things get bumped up or bumped down because of it. Man, I think I'm right there with Scarphead though. I love the music in it. I love the vibe. I love seeing Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee, kind of work together on this. I'm giving it a 3.75. I have a lot of fun with this, and I don't know. I have a soft spot for movies like this though that like take place during a winter storm. I love it, and I love monster movies. So 69s is good. So what do we have?
3.0
from Gary.
No.
2.5 from Two Gun. 2.5 from Fable. And 69s is good. Yeah, 69s are always good. So yeah, what? 3.75s from me and Scarpad. 2.5 from Vern, right?
I mean, shit, if we're doing 0.75s, let's make it official. My first 0.75 with a 2.75.
2.75. Robbie gave it a 3. All right.
You need a calculator for this one.
That's an average score of 3.69.
Hell yeah. It works out.
Yo. Yeah.
Not really.
Great.
A double check.
More like 3.369, but that's okay, man.
Yeah, 3.369. Okay. I did it. It was quick math. It was quick math.
So was mine, bro.
It was new math, man. New math.
Anyone got anything for show and tell?
You know it, man.
I I was bummed. I had something, but it's at I gotta pick it up. I only got one thing though. Who wants to go first?
You got it with you, Scarphead? Ready to fly?
Oh,
Might as well start with the big man.
All right. Let's see. We got a box of stuff just came in. These have been on order for a while. I just picked these up. Came in the mail. These are from Metzco Toys. They put out 2 collections from Godzilla Destroy All Monsters of monster figures, and I haven't opened me up, but they're there on the back. And this one you get Croc Gorosaurus, King Ghidorah, Manila, also known as Minya, and son of Godzilla, and Baragon. Look at this guy with multiple heads and claws.
How big are they?
I don't think they're very big. I think they're like 6 or 7 inches.
Does it say that the size on the box is what they are?
Let's see. It does not, but I believe they're about 6.5.
Oh, that's
inches.
Sweet though, man.
So that's one.
Cool box.
Here's the second one from Mezco Toys. And if you look at the back, this one has Godzilla, of course, with multiple heads and beams. Rodan, Mothra, and Anguirus.
Dude, those are sick, bro. Classic ones too, man.
From Destroy All Monsters, yeah. So these are part of their 5 bonus XLs. So those just came in.
With a little fire breath.
Let's see what else I picked up here. Elvira from NECA. I don't know if you got this yet, Dylan, or
no, I didn't even order it. I wanted to. I just money's so tight.
Yes, she is. So
it's pretty. I hate that there's not a. I hate that there's not like an outer folding out cardboard in that, man.
And this particular one, there's not. I was looking for it. You notice that? And I think some of the newer ones are not getting that.
What?
This is a 40th year anniversary one. Doesn't have the fold out like the traditional boxes have.
What's the cleavage situation?
That's the cloth.
Pretty good.
Okay. No, that's not. That's the ultimate. That's a great looking figure. I got mine on pre-order. I can't wait to get it in.
Yeah, I mean, this has the skull. I'm not too cool on the second head.
Well, I mean, the cloth ones have switch out heads too.
You got to have the wink. You know,
I guess, but the original head is the best. Original head is always the best. And
Heyo.
What else do we have here? So some goblets and stuff. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And she's got the dagger. That's cool, right? You can put it on her waist, or she can hold it and shit.
They need to do like.
I finally got my
couch.
My black and white Wolfman. Now this comes in a little bit different box than the original one. The original one just had the poster art. So this has a little bit different box there. And
I think that's the teaser. I think that was the teaser art.
Yeah. And then this has a traditional box here with the Wolfman. And I like the black and white one a lot better than the color one.
Yeah. Me too.
The 2 heads aren't too much different though, really. A little bit.
One's got his mouth open. Come on, bro.
I guess, man. I don't know.
One he's like, rah.
And
the other he's like,
finally, the ultimate Ash.
Oh, I saw that in store the other day.
NECA.
That box is awesome.
And then,
I wish they would have had like a blood. I wish you kind of.
Well, the thing I like about this is obviously a lot of times you see these figures from Evil Dead, and it looks like Ash from the second movie or Army of Darkness. This one they did try to keep this looking like the character from that movie.
Yeah.
The young Ash.
That's dope. See, I got the Evil Dead 2 one, man. I got to get that one. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's spot on. I still got to get the second one.
Especially this head here over in that corner is spot on. You
got my only problem with the Evil Dead 2 one is you can't put the chainsaw on his fucking arm.
Really?
Oh, you cannot. Yeah. My biggest peeve in all this shit, all my figures, this is my biggest fucking peeve, is they give you accessories that the figure cannot hold or use. Completely fucking worthless. If you're gonna give me something, make sure it's something that the figure can actually use. Otherwise, it just ends up on the floor next to the thing. It's worthless. So I hate that when they do that.
That's
And
weird.
I'm not sure. I haven't taken too many of these out of the boxes. I tell you, the NECA stuff, the box is part of the figure to me. They make such great boxes with artwork and everything that I hate to take these out because really the box is part of it. You notice up here.
I saw a guy, he had a whole collection, and he would take the figure out and display it in front of the box so that like, art would show, and then it's like right in front.
The Godzilla stuff. I mean, they put the nice.
Dude, the art, that's one of the best things about the NECAs is the freaking box.
So, to me, I don't take a lot of the NECA stuff out of the box.
I take all mine out, but I keep the boxes. I love them. I love to display them. That's why I'm disappointed in that Elvira one. I wish it was as nice.
And that's it for me.
Nice, dude. Nice. Vern, you want to go next?
Sure. I'm running out of hot toys to show you, so I'll just.
Man, I doubt that.
I'll go big right now. These are all you mentioned seeing them last week. So I'll tell you one thing that bugs me though. You notice this crotch? He came with saggy crotch syndrome. I don't appreciate that, but it did come also, and this looks great on it. This.
Oh man,
dope.
R.I.P.
Right. So I wonder. I don't know if they'll ever make another one of those. Oh, they probably will eventually. So there's that guy.
You never know though with the rights, but yeah, probably.
Right.
Still really cool to have.
This is the newest one that I've gotten from Endgame. Clearly,
yeah,
pretty dope.
Hell yeah, that's my favorite Cap uniform.
Yeah, it's solid. So there's that. I have so much shit on this desk that I'm working with. It's ridiculous. Trying not to knock anything over. Here's an Iron Man. Whoa, you lay right there. I wish I had the head sculpt for this one to show you because it's actually really good. This is a heavy figure. It's partially made from cast iron. The legs are iron. There's plastic bits in there. It's super posable, but it's like you almost need to take like a class on how to pose these hot toy Iron Man figures without breaking them. And then this guy.
Oh wow!
Dun dun. Impossible. I had the one from Infinity War, but this one came out and I was like, oh shit, I gotta get it. So it's another one. It comes with a couple head sculpts. It's huge, just to like compare them. If you can kind of get a feel for that. But it's super badass.
When are you gonna start getting into some of the horror ones, man?
Well,
Jason one.
I bought all of these within a couple years when I was just crazy. I don't know. I'd lost my mind for a bit, so I've regained my sanity. And
you could always sell some of those. I'm sure you have some pieces that are worth some stuff.
Right.
I see people all the time with like their whole collections of like those are Sideshow.
Yeah, Hot Toys.
Hot Toy Sideshow, like their whole collection of those, like with like the horror stuff, and like they have like themed shelves and shit.
Oh, for sure,
like,
dude.
Wow.
Don't get me wrong.
Stuff.
Like I bought the Jason one, and I was like, "Oh, this could go down a dark path. I better pump the brakes." So.
I'll show one more thing, Dylan. Here.
Oh yeah, dude! You gotta show Robbie that.
Dude,
yeah, I put together that mod case, 1/6 case there.
That's fucking awesome. Are those Sideshow?
Nice.
Well, for Modu case, Sideshow sold it. That's where I got it from. It's a tough case put together by itself. I had to get some help because it's really a 2-man in some areas. But then, so right now I got the Enterprise in it, and the shuttle and some Star Trek stuff. Eventually, I think that's where my 1/6 EXO 6 figures will sit at some point. I did also get the Playmobil Enterprise, the big one that lit up. That might go in here too. I haven't really decided, but for right now, that's what's in there, and that's the latest thing I got right there.
That's so cool.
I'm more impressed by the Centipede game. So that's dope.
Dude, he has a shit ton of arcade games.
That's awesome.
I need to get some, man. I got room for one or two, but I haven't committed yet.
Yeah, it's
well, Scarpa has the ones that look, as you see, that can go onto the wall and save a lot of room too.
The thing is, they're coming out with so many good cabinets that you really have to think about it before you commit, because if you get limited space and you get one, you're kind of committed to using that space.
Right.
They just announced this week that they're coming out with NFL Blitz before the end of the year, and a few other ones. So, if you get limited space, make sure you think about what you're going to get before you get it. Unless you get a multi-cade and put them all on there. But
yeah, that's what my buddy's got. He built one himself, and it's dope as shit. It's dope as shit. You got to sit down at it though. It's weird to have two dudes sitting next to each other playing Street Fighter, like fucking bumping elbows and getting pissed off and shit. It's cool. His actual like arcade panel comes from like Japan, right? So it's nice, and he's got 4K TV or a monitor there, and it's nice. He built the whole thing himself. I would do one stand up though, because if you're playing arcade, you stand up, right? That's just how I feel.
Yeah, I'll be getting the Mortal Kombat one.
That's the one, dude.
That's coming in this week or next week.
See, Street Fighter is the one I was thinking, and then I was thinking because you can mod those, right? You can mod an arcade one up if you really wanted to. But just get the design that you want. But if you're going to do that, might as well build one that's more like
but
real
the Mortal
size.
Kombat one is going to be the first one they have. The first time that all 4 Mortal Kombats and everything else that's on the cabinet is Wi-Fi enabled, so you'll be able to play online.
Nice. That's dope.
Fuck, man. What's that cost? What is that? What does that one cost specifically? Do you know?
That's $4.99. Yeah, that'll be out.
They put out a lot of Mortal Kombat. Man.
They put out a lot of Mortal Kombat games, and you can go to Walmart right now and probably get one on clearance for $199 from a year ago or so. It doesn't have the Wi-Fi in it. And for me to be able to play, Mortal Kombat makes more sense if you can play against somebody. So
just get your ass beat by some fucking somebody else, But I've always wanted to get the Street Fighter one with the Wi-Fi capability because
Jim Mint have that.
Jim Mint, I know, and Jim Mint has it, and he loves Street Fighter, and so do I. And we've been talking shit back and forth for like 3 years now about who's better at Street Fighter, and I need to get it so I can practice.
That one has been out for about a year, and it's getting ready to really get discounted. So probably give it a month or two, and you might be able to get it pretty cheap.
Keep my eyes out for it. I guess while Dylan's scrambling, he's not here to solo me, so we'll just wait. Oh, there he is. All right. For my show and tell, this movie, like most Hammer films, gives me an EC horror vibe. Scarpad mentioned that earlier about the verbosity of EC and all that shit, but I love them. And if you've never wanted to commit to the EC library because they've been like in pretty expensive hardcovers, they are very affordable now in $20 trade paperback collections from Dark Horse. I'm going to show mine off because I just got a new one, but I'll show them all off. There's Haunt of Fear Volume 1. These are all $20. That's got a Robert Englund introduction. Then we've got Shock Suspense Stories, Volume 1, with an introduction by Steven Spielberg. Those are really cool, by the way. Then we got The Vault of Horror, Volume 1, with an introduction by R.L. Stein.
It's a great cover. They're all great.
Yeah,
I know. The art in this stuff, Johnny Craig is my favorite in particular, but I love all that shit. This is the new one that just came out, Vault of Horror, Volume 2, introduction by John Landis. Also, you got to have Tales from the Crypt, Volume 1, introduction by the John Carpenter.
Sick.
Tales from the Crypt, Volume 2, introduction from the Joe Dante. Just the introductions are like enough for me. And then you wrap it up with Weird Science. Weird Fantasy is coming up, but this has an introduction from George Lucas.
Damn.
That shows you the influence of these comics in horror and sci-fi. They are must-haves for any horror fan and fan of comics. And I got 2 new Blu-rays this week. I got House 2.
Oh, no.
Got that one? Yeah, got it.
I haven't gotten one yet because it's not available on Amazon right now, but this one dropped in price and had a coupon. So I got this shit for like $13.
Really?
So House 2.
So I need House 2.
That was one of my favorite movies growing up. And I was really pumped to get this one. But I got The Changeling. And I got the special limited 2-disc with the foil embossed slip.
Sick cover.
And the soundtrack to
From
the fucking
Amazon?
movie. Got this on Amazon.
Nice,
Less
dude.
than $30. So I snatched it up. So that's my Blu-rays right there. And why did I buy these movies? Well, you'll just have to wait and see. But I just let you know that Horror Fest is coming up, and Dylan's horror show is Horror Fest every single week. So
yeah,
there you go. We're doing Changeling for Horror Fest. You heard it here. Don't spread it around.
I was picking that up.
Yeah, Wally Wood in there too, man. But yeah, that's what I got.
Nice. Yeah, dude, I got the original house off of like Barnes and Noble or something a while back. So I gotta get house too. So I appreciate the heads up. I only got one thing. I had another thing, but it's over. I wasn't able to get it. It's gonna have to be shown off next week. And
What was it?
it's saying I was surprised you didn't show it off.
What is it?
In Search of Tomorrow, bro.
Oh, that's right. I did. I got that. Yeah.
So I got this to finish my Full Moon. They finally sent it out.
Fantastic movie. Linnea Quigley classic.
Robbie, this is Robbie's Full Moon pick when we do a Full Moon double feature night. I got like 5 Full Moon titles I got in mind for y'all to maybe vote on. So whatever you guys pick out of my 5 titles, it would be that and then this one. So that's one Robbie's been dying to do. So yeah, I can't wait to talk about this one with y'all.
I was able to find this.
Dude, next week. Oh yeah, hell yeah! Is that freaking brand new? Look at this,
bruh. That thing's so expensive right now. Yeah, I have that.
I found it for like $20.
How'd you find that?
It was on Diabolic DVD. They have it. They only had 2 copies left, so I snagged one. I know it's not the best version of it, but probably the best they're gonna get for now.
Damn,
it's the only one on Blu-ray, right?
That's the best way to watch it. That's the best possible.
I love it. It's got the documentary in it. It's got most of the special features from the DVD. It's
supposed to get a 4K release though, so
yeah.
Yeah, as soon as I buy something, it's
and that they did. I saw your post when you shared that, and I can attest to the fact of this. I worked at Movie Stop when Twilight came out on Blu-ray, and that was when this movie came out. So they were doing the Twilight bit on the cover.
That's a horrible cover.
We covered that on Horror Fest a couple years ago, and we mentioned that. But I love that. That thing wound up being like $200 at one point.
Like, who the fuck is this girl? This isn't even the girl that's in the movie.
It is the girl in the movie. It's just
it doesn't look like her at all.
Yeah, it's Meg. It's just a weird. I like the cover art for the 2-disc Anchor Bay DVD set, which I used to have until I got that. So
I can't understand Shout or somebody hasn't gotten this.
There's been some kind of weird rights issue, but apparently they figured it out. Like Dylan said, there's going to be a 4K release soon. So they're working on it right now, allegedly.
Well, that's one thing I talked to Dylan about a lot, and it's true that I think COVID has really saved not only the physical media format, but the 4K format. Because before COVID and before people got locked in the house and needed stuff, you can keep me here, Dylan. That's fine. 4K was floundering. I mean, 4K wasn't getting anything. And now we're getting all these releases on 4K, not only stuff that you would expect to get, but I mean stuff from Arrow and Kino. And I almost hate to buy a movie from Kino because I know as soon as I do, it's probably going to get a 4K release. Even Disney's putting out Heat, which I never thought we'd get on a 4K.
Well, when you've done the market research, which they have now, and I think right now they know where the physical media market is.
Right.
And so I think as long as they realize if their costs line up to a certain amount, they can put it out in a limited quantity and sell through, right? And then the aftermarket takes up, and that just builds up hype and drive.
Well, because that's the way it was going to be for Blu-ray, but 4K, I really thought 4K was going to really be on its way out. I mean, let's face it, Samsung quit putting out players, and there's not a lot of 4K players in the market. Now we're starting to get some more coming out. So I think it's really geared up, and you're going to see a lot more than we would have saw because of the situation.
Just remember this: each generation of physical media will have less movies represented than the last.
Yeah.
There are more movies represented on VHS than DVD, and then DVD has more represented than Blu-ray,
Right.
and it will be the same way. So never feel like you need to, if you want to collect your physical media, don't get rid of it until you know you're going to upgrade, because when it's gone, and they may never stream this shit sometimes. And that's something we deal with sometimes here on Dylan's Horror Show. And thank God for streaming services like Shudder, right? Where there's a plethora of Italian horror, grindhouse horror, elevated horror, like all this kind of fucking stuff, torture porn, which I like to call fucking, it's not body horror, but torture horror, slasher shit. You know, that shit's good, man. Gnarly, the ripping apart of the body, like digging into it. So hell yeah. Hell yeah. Subscribe to Shudder. It's worth it, y'all. Horror Express was on Shudder. It's also on YouTube because there's no copyright. People can just play the shit wherever.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but I think it's the old version. I don't know if it's the restored. There may be a copyright on that. I don't know.
See, I was talking with Dylan about getting Shudder. I guess I'm just gonna have to do it,
bro.
I've just got so many things, you know. I'm sure, like all of us do. There's so many goddamn streaming services that I have right now.
I've cut out everything but Shudder and I have Paramount Plus. I don't know why I still have that one, but
because you're keeping Star Trek alive, regardless, Scarpad, regardless.
And well, they just got that new movie with Bryan Cranston, the movie where they win a lottery ticket, something like that. Have you seen that one? I like Bryan Cranston. He's all right. And that's about it. But Shudder's a good deal because if you buy it by the year, if you do it annually, you can save a lot of money. And it's worth having annually, I think, because they add stuff all the time. I haven't watched too much of their...
And they do a lot of new horror films. Like they
all the time, dude. They have new stuff coming out weekly.
They're a heavy distributor for new films.
They just had that new like animated claymation film by Phil Tippett.
Revealer's going to be on there in a couple in like next week. Revealer's going to be there. Speaking of next week, Dylan, what are y'all doing next week for Dylan's Horror Show?
To be honest, man, you threw me for a loop because I thought you were going to be there next week. So
no, I mean, I let you know that. I mean, I'm sure Vern remembers when I let everybody know that I wasn't going to be here next week.
I remember.
Dylan shook because he had a movie picked out, but he knows that like if he does that movie without me, I'm done.
Last time you weren't here, he picked out a banger. Me and his stuff had a really good show.
You act like you saying you're done is the thing. I want to do the movie with you, punk. So
that's a bit, Dylan. We're doing a bit. We're playing characters, man. Right now, I'm rocking Robbie. You're Dylan's Horror Show.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think, and you're messing with me. But I don't know who has Shudder. Just probably me and.
I could get Shudder. Well, here, this is something I was going to ask. Chucky's not on that, right? You guys have a separate thing for sci-fi? Like, because I remember you guys were watching it before it hit.
I was watching it on Peacock.
Yeah, I was watching mine through Hulu.
What?
I thought I was watching mine through Peacock.
I just remember you guys had access to Peacock it before I had it.
Like Chucky the TV show.
I had like cable through Hulu.
Yes. That was on Chucky the TV show debuted on the USA Network and Sci-Fi, and then it moved to Peacock, I think.
Yeah, that's owned by NBC, so it was on. I watched it on Peacock. I had to have commercials, but I watched it.
Oh, it was on USA originally.
I don't know. I was kind of thinking maybe freaking Alligator because that's on Shudder now. But
do Alligator. I'm cool with that. Y'all do it.
Oh God!
You guys, you know what?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if they're gonna want to do it.
You know what's a good movie that's on Shudder right now? That I have it on. I don't know if you guys have it on Blu-ray, but Eaten Alive's on Shudder. That would be a good one to do too.
What is it?
Eaten Alive.
Eaten Alive. Yeah, I do. I love that. That's a Toby Hooper. That's a better one.
I'm cool with y'all doing either of those because I will not be here next week.
England's in that. It's about like a crazy guy that has like a freaking alligator. Yeah, we're doing Eaten Alive.
Boom. What's it on?
Shudder. It's directed by Toby Hooper. If you don't recognize that name,
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yes, sir.
The
I
Funhouse.
figured you would. You're not a noob anymore.
The classic, The Funhouse.
Hell yeah.
What's this movie called again? Sorry, one more time.
Eaten Alive.
God damn, Scarpad, calm down.
Damn. 1985's Eaten Alive. I'm down, yo.
Here it is, baby.
You haven't even opened that shit, Scarpad.
Not yet. I haven't watched it. So maybe I'll watch it. Am I coming on with you? Am I coming back next week, though?
Yeah, you're coming, bro.
All right, well, I'll watch it then.
Robbie's not going to be here. Yeah, I got to pick. I want to own that one on Blu-ray.
This is a brand new 2K restoration with Toby Hooper and all sorts of stuff.
I love how
Dylan
is so offended. Like, he's taking it personal. I'm not going to be here next week. I'm going to be in fucking at Heroes Con, bro. Okay? Like, it's okay.
I just had that, like, it's hard for me to, like, think what I want to do. Like, it's got to feel, like, perfect sometimes. Like, dude, because obviously I have so many movies, I could pick anything, you know, but sometimes it's like, I just, like, get, like a itch on what I want to watch. You know what I mean? Like, and because there's sometimes you ever do, like, when we're going to review something, you're like, man, I haven't been in the mood all week to watch it. And then you kind of force yourself to watch it by the end of the week.
I don't have that problem, bro. I plan out my year, and I'm good. I'm good to go.
Well,
I got a plan. I know what I got to watch. It doesn't matter what I'm in the fucking mood for, and that's what we do on PCP Movie Night.
Yeah.
Robbie's gonna be.
By the way, PCP Movie Night, Monday night, Saint Maud. Have you watched it yet, Vern?
No, I'm gonna.
Bro, I really like it. I'm not gonna lie. Dylan, have you seen Saint Maud?
I don't think I've heard of it though.
Bro, watch it. It's on Paramount Plus.
I'm excited. It's on Prime too.
It's on Prime and Paramount Plus. You all should check it out.
No, I'm
Saint
excited.
Maud. It's an A24 film.
I haven't watched an A24 film that I didn't like yet. I haven't watched a whole shitload. I've watched 4 or 5, but they've all been bangers. So I'm excited. And it's short too. Like you said, it's like
less than an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked it. We'll be talking about that on PCP Movie Night, Monday night, 8 p.m. Central.
I'm going to watch it actually the second we wrap up here.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
We better wrap up before he falls asleep in it.
Shit.
Yeah, I guess so. Prey. The only thing I really got is Prey got a R rating, official R rating, which that'll be cool because if they didn't go R rating, that'd have been fucking annoying.
Satan's Little Helper on Blu-ray.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
maybe we'll get the director on the show. He reached out to us when we did that last year for Horror Fest.
Is this what he just said? He's like, let's not let Dylan pick the movie this time, Robbie. And he suggested maybe like Society. No, Two Gun. That's what we were gonna literally. I wanted to do Society next week, but I forgot Robbie won't be here next week.
Dylan was like, "Hey man, we're doing Society next week."
And we can't do Society the week
not.
We can't do Society the week after because we're gonna do the new Scott Derrickson movie, Black Phone. So.
And then we got to do Revealer after that.
Yeah, I
Michael
think so.
Morisi. Come on, man.
Yeah. If we don't do it that week, it'll be the week after, but it'll probably be that week. Because I don't know. Those Shudder movies come out on like Thursday or Friday, so I want to make sure.
And Dylan, you know I have sent you the Horror Fest list, so.
Yeah, I got it. I was just looking at it because I was going to do a Cronenberg film, but I can't.
Well, you can do one for Horror Fest to do a double feature weekend. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
we're doing a Cronenberg film for Horror Fest, y'all. Yeah.
Yeah. What's it's Two Gun? You got you don't like Eaten Alive?
He's goofing around. He knows Society's the one.
Right.
Society is the shit, man. But yeah, we'll have to do that list because I want to do like for the poll, for the full moon poll. I was thinking Trancers, Demonic Toys, Subspecies, Evil Bong, Puppet Master.
Write that down. Send it to me. I'll get the poll up in the PC.
I got it written down, and I'll send it to you.
Nice.
And, we'll get that poll, and then we'll get that date because that's a double feature. Even though Full Moon, they're like hour movies. Because I do plan for us to do that Firefly trilogy, but I'm gonna give you like a few, like 3 weeks at least notice. You know what I mean? Because it's 3 movies we're gonna be reviewing.
What do you mean by Firefly trilogy? Is that the zombie stuff? What are you talking about?
Yeah, I thought you guys done that.
You don't know what the Firefly trilogy is?
Is that what it's fucking called? Is what I'm asking you, bro. Are you talking about like House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, and 3 from Hell or whatever?
Oh, I never heard it called that in my fucking life.
I could have sworn you guys have done that already.
Well, you said the zombie shit, so I was like, not all of the stuff.
I'm stoked. Yeah.
I'm excited to revisit it, man. I'll have a new. I'm not the same Robbie I was when I watched those films, man.
Yeah.
That shit's the shit.
I want to like those films. Let's just say that.
I know you don't.
I like Spawn now. That's a big difference in my life, bro.
Right.
I think Spawn fans like Rob Zombie.
Changed.
I have changed.
Those are probably the best
you're nowhere near the Hammer snob that you were when I first met you.
Bruh, the only really good Hammer film is Captain Kronos Vampire Hunter. Let's be honest. Just kidding. Curse of Frankenstein's really fucking good. They're all good. I love them all.
I got you.
Brides of Dracula, The Vampire Lovers. Ooh. Put that one on without your wife, Furno. The Vampire Lovers. That one. Saucy.
Really?
Good. Yeah.
I love sauce.
Yeah. Very, very
in the PG-13 kind of
very
way.
Subversive. No, in the rated R way. Very subversive in those days, especially. The Vampire Lovers.
Noted.
It's a good Hammer film.
Robbie, you got anything going on this weekend? I know tomorrow's Father's Day, so I don't know.
Tomorrow's Father's Day. I don't give a shit. We're doing Rockin' Robbie live at 7 p.m. Central Time, and then 8 p.m. Central Time, Monday night, PCP movie night, St. Maud.
I'll be there.
Oh, and we're talking about Miss Marvel on Wednesday. Hell yeah.
Nice.
Do that.
I finally finished up.
And check out the Blame Fable show tomorrow on Instagram at 5 p.m. Central Time.
Oh, yeah. Main reason I have IG. That's what they say.
It's the only reason.
What the hell was I gonna say? Vern, I know you ain't got nothing popping.
I ain't doing shit these days. I love it.
Let's talk this shit out. Cool, man.
Maybe. I'm excited to revisit you.
The first one was the only good one.
The second one's good too.
Look, if Rob just wants to do Texas Chainsaw Massacre, let him do Texas Chainsaw Massacre. If he just wants to remake Tobe Hooper movies, just remake Tobe Hooper movies. Don't remake John Carpenter films. I don't give a shit what I rethink about Devil's Rejects and House of a Thousand Corpses. Halloween 1 and 2 by Rob Zombie suck.
Yeah, they were bad.
I like 1. 2 sucks.
I can dig that.
I like 2.
I know, man. Dylan loves 2 for some fucking reason, man.
I hate 2.
I do too, man. It's like
I hate the.
It's not as bad as Resurrection, but I don't know which one.
No, it's so much better.
They're close, man. They're close to me, man.
There's parts of it that are cool.
We're talking Busta Rhymes karate.
Yeah, I know what we're talking
about. Michael Myers, fucking homeless Michael Myers.
It's the wife in 2 that drives me nuts.
Where would he stay?
The mom.
I mean, who would have him? Henry Portman of a serial killer? Would you let Michael Myers stay in his house?
I hate the fucking 30-minute fake opening. I just hate all of that movie, man.
You don't need to know what Michael Myers, why he is the way he is. You don't need to know that.
Yeah.
You don't need to humanize him. You don't need to see him.
But I respect that Rob Zombie didn't. I respect that Rob Zombie didn't just do a Gus Van Sant on Alfred Hitchcock. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
true.
But at the same time, I appreciate that Gus Van Sant didn't just do a Rob Zombie on Psycho.
I don't know. There's too many reboots that don't need to happen. I mean, they don't need to happen.
I'm going to say this. Psycho 98 is better than Halloween 2007 or whatever the fuck it was. I'm telling you. I'm just, boom, right there.
There it is.
Vince Vaughn as Norman Bates is fucking really compelling to me. I'll be honest with you. Me and Dylan covered it on our Psycho franchise review. The most underrated horror franchise. It literally is one of the best. 1, 2, and 3 are so badass. 4's got its moments, and the remake, at least it's this interesting artifact in cinema, right?
I never thought 3 was on equal footing, but I would say that 2 lives up to 1 in a certain degree.
Yeah, 3's fun though. 3's like 3's where they're just like having fun.
Right.
Yeah, 3's real fun.
But 2 legitimately stands up with the first one. I don't think it was ever given that notoriety, that level, but I think it did. I think it does.
2 is a 5 you digs for me. 2 is a brilliant fucking film. I love that. Todd Holland did the script, and who was the director? Oh my goodness. I can't remember right now. It's a fantastic film.
I got fucking sidetracked. Are we still talking about Halloween franchise or another franchise?
We're talking about Psycho.
Okay, I was like, wait a minute. Just nod. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Eaten Alive next week. Robbie will not be here, so it looks like it'll be Scarphead and Vern Diggity and maybe Steph.
Probably Steph.
Yeah.
He probably just looked at this film and was like, looked at the cast and was like, no.
Yeah.
I was waiting. I was like, oh, I can't wait. I was hoping that wherever we got set up, I was before Steph. Because sometimes Steph needs someone to shit on a movie before he gets up, before he'll shit on the movie. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, yeah, I knew Steph wouldn't, or I assumed Steph wouldn't like it.
I didn't think he would like this one very much.
Yeah.
You should have just told me we were doing Henry Portrait the Serial Killer, too.
Well, I've never seen that one, so.
I bet it's fire.
I'd probably miss Michael Rooker, to be honest.
You would.
Yeah, definitely.
Myself, I think the only thing I'm going to try to do this week is I'm going to try to get out to see Lightyear because I want to see that.
Yeah.
At some point. I feel bad for that movie because it's doing badly, mainly because a bunch of people can't get over the fact that Tim Allen's not the voice of fucking Lightyear.
It's a really good movie.
I hear it's good too.
I'm sure.
Did you see it?
No, I didn't do though.
Oh yeah, and the fact is he wasn't ever in the cards to be the voice because this is not the toy of the movie. It's the actual character of the movie the toy was based on. So Chris Evans, he's a hot property, and he's coming back to do Santa Claus 18 anyways for Disney. Tim, the tool man there shortly anyway. So,
well, if Martin Short's not in it, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
In the Santa Claus.
Yeah. Because he was in part 3. It was like what, Jack Frost or some shit.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. It's the only one I didn't like.
The only one he didn't like. I bet you like the Air Bud movies too, dude. By the way, coming up in Action Fest, we're doing a whole franchise review of the Air Bud movies. Just kidding, man. We should do Air Bud though one day.
That's hilarious. I've never seen
the Air up there.
Never mind. I've seen it, but I don't recall.
We should do the Air up there.
Air up there. Now that
Kevin Bacon, yeah,
classic,
good stuff. Captain Ron. Oh, I'm thinking of some good movies to kick off 2023 and PCP movie night. See, Dylan, that's how far ahead I'm thinking. You know.
What about Bob? Maybe I don't know. I don't know.
Ooh, I love What About Bob.
You know,
maybe we'll give you a Cruise Choice pick.
I
don't know if you could handle being part of the excitable PCP crew. It's rough, isn't it, Dylan?
I'd probably come out with something different than What About Bob? Something more mainstream. You'd be like, oh, God. You might call me.
You'd be like, let's do Star Wars.
Normie, a muggle. Normie muggle. Like the Tremors fans out there. I recall that.
All right.
That once struck me right
You got
there.
problems with Tremors fans? I know he does.
No, I love Tremors. I was excited. I'm like, oh, they're doing Tremors. I turned it on, and Robbie's like, I don't like Tremors. I'm like, oh, no.
Tremors is awesome.
It's weird what we like and what we don't like sometimes.
I
right?
was shocked that you didn't like it.
Like, why this guy love New York Ripper so much, but he fucking shits on Tremors?
Seriously, man.
Tremors,
the only good one was the first one, though. The rest of them were terrible.
I believe that. I don't remember the
They're
other
all
ones.
good.
No, they're not. I'm sorry. Any movie that
even
Michael
the TV show's good, bro.
Any movie that Michael Gross is the star of, I'm sorry, is not good.
They're incredible,
No.
and Jamie Foxx or Jamie Kennedy saves the series.
You should do a show. Be a great thing for a movie night series that only the first one was good, because there's a lot of those series you could probably.
That's most of them.
Think about. What's that?
It's probably most of them.
That's funny.
Well, I couldn't do a show like that because I love sequels, and I'd be like the series where the sequels were all awesome, and
here would be a good thing. What if we did a show one time where we had a list of franchises, and our job was to pick the worst movie in the franchise?
See, I had an idea that you would hate, Robbie. I was going to say to you, Dylan, we do Blumhouse night, and you do the first movie of all their huge franchises, like The Conjuring and The Purge, and just a discussion on how these mainstream movies get so, like, they've got a lot of successful big franchises. Paranormal Activity, fucking whatever the fuck, all, you know what I mean? There's like 4 huge franchises.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I haven't. Yeah, those are.
I get it. No, I understand.
My bag.
I understand.
I would be cool with doing a revisit on The Conjuring sometime. Maybe a little bit further down the road. I just revisited those films, looking forward to the third one, and I do not like 2, and I did not like 3.
I can't. So. What the fuck did we just watch? We just watched one of the big ones. I just talking to you about it, Dylan. God damn it! And it was actually really good. Oh, Insidious one.
I've never seen that. I've never seen any of those.
As far as a jump scare movie goes, it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
I need to check it out.
Yeah.
But I would say the 90s or the 2000s probably where most of those movies are. Things like you said, Paranormal Activity. I don't even like that movie. I saw what you did last summer. Had about 18 sequels.
Those are like 20 years apart, or no, like 15, I guess. The movies that like the Blumhouse ones are like the 2010s.
How many Final Destinations they made?
Like right. That's the previous batch, yeah.
Hell yeah. Wish they got all the Final Destinations on HBO Max right now.
Right.
All 5. So Eaten Alive, that will be what we are doing next week. It's on Shudder. For anyone who wants to know, I believe it's on Tubi as well. For anyone who doesn't have Shudder, let me check if it's on Tubi or anything, just to be sure before we get out of here. You can rent it for $2.99 or buy it for $9.99 on Amazon Prime. Is it on Tubi?
I'm looking right now.
This was loosely based on real life?
It is.
It is?
It's on Tubi.
No.
Shitting on Legacy says, Airbud review, that's some hacky Tomorrow Cinema type shit.
It says here, featurette looking at the true life story of the South Texas bar owner on whom Eaten Alive is loosely based. So, must be pretty loose.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Fable, Jurassic Park is not horror. That's definitely sci-fi. But sci-fi action adventure, but
horror aspects.
We did do Legend here and Dead Zone, so why not?
Yeah.
Bro, are you hating on the Dead Zone?
No, I love that film. I'm just saying we've done movies that aren't necessarily quite defined by horror.
This is the horror show, bro.
You did Legend. You picked Legend.
There's horror aspects in it, bro.
Sparkly fucking. There's horror aspect in Lord of the Rings. Come on, man.
That might be what we do next week.
Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys. Eaten Alive, get it? Nice.
Well, I don't know.
I thought there was a Godzilla.
I know. I was like, whoa, that timed up perfect.
Hold on a second. Now, Jurassic Park, I think you could argue that's horror. And the thing is, I guess you would say, what about gigantic monster movies? Is Godzilla horror?
Yeah,
I mean, it could be that.
Baby.
It could be that. I mean, so I say Jurassic Park #1 could be horror.
It's got horror aspects.
I concede.
It's a little scary. I know people are afraid of it.
little scary.
It scared the shit out of me, man.
Well, I mean, it was Jaws
Scary.
with dinosaurs.
If I consider Gremlins horror, so is Jurassic Park. I'm sorry. I take that back. I apologize. Let's move on. Dylan, you were saying next week, Eaten Alive?
Eaten Alive. And then after that, we will be doing Black Phone. You guys make sure you do your homework. You guys are the best. Love y'all. Y'all have a great night. And we'll catch y'all next week. Peace out.
Peace. Out.